How's it going, everybody? We're going to start the first trial of Farewell My Turnabout. So let's get into this thing. I feel like it is entirely possible this time, for reasons that I have discussed, that Matt might actually be the one who did it. The only other character is Adrian, and I don't think that she did it. I really don't. It just doesn't seem like it. Plus, this can't be the last trial. The first one isn't going to be the only one. And he already suspects her, so it can't be her. But the thing is, I don't think Matt has enough agency to do anything by himself, so someone would have had to have told him to do it if he did it. Like her. I don't know. Unless he's faking. We've had that many times before. We've had fakers. Everybody else, those are the only two characters. There's a mysterious Wendy that we don't know. So, I don't know about that. The only other people, we've got the killer, you know, the assassin guy. Everybody else is dead, like Juan and Celeste. And all the other characters are returning. Will, Oldbag, and Lotta, they didn't do it. So, I don't know. I'm sure this trial won't settle it. I don't think Adrian did it. We'll see. Or Pearls is either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Oh, hello. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Have you not, like, checked on Maya? Do you not realize you don't have her anymore? Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Even if she got away, he should just pretend that she didn't. So, who knows if he knows or not. I don't think he knows, though. For myself, you must win today's trial. For you? Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Ah, shit. Maya's fingers. Before she escaped. What the hell? I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest. If you please. What if I don't win, but I also don't lose? What if we just have to come back for another trial in like a couple days or tomorrow? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. It has a lot to do with him. Did your nose just get longer? Yeah. Alright. Oh, I have no idea how any of this is gonna go. Hello? Is there anybody on the other side? Do we win by default? Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. I win. Alright, let's go. Let's go home, everybody. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? Who cares? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor? Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was... What?! Awesome! What?! Shot? What a twist. This case is all over the place. This case is bringing up one crazy thing after another. I think this is the present that man was talking about. Oh, nice. Thanks, dude! High five for DeKiller. He totally won me this case. I don't even have a fucking opponent. Bring in Winston Payne. Let him do it. He sucks. Or it'll have to be Edgeworth, but, his present. That's hilarious. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. And if she disappeared, this would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. As long as she's in a state where she can't use that whip, I'm happy. I don't have that answer. She's alive and stable. Oh, hello, Edgeworth. That's good. Phew. You're... I thought he'd show up. Oh, hi. And if he's gonna be the prosecutor, that's good for me, because he just fucking helps me all the time. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Although, I don't know what the hell the outcome of this is gonna be, so I don't know how it's all gonna work out. Edgeworth knows more than we do. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Dude, it's nice to have you back over there. Rather than somebody who just fucking whips and shit and wastes my time. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matongard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Although I feel like, because of what Edgeworth knows, I feel like him being here would make it harder for me, which might be a good thing for the overall case, depending on what the outcome is. But I think he's better than Von Karma, at least in this particular instance. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe. I think he's been up here enough times to where everybody knows who he is. Come on. For now. After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. This happened at the end of the first game. But this happened first, though, because that was added later, so they just copied this for that game. Stop doing this at the end of the games. Is it going to be a recurring theme? I don't know. For all I know, it's in every game where this happens, and he never actually stays gone. He comes back. Prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me the answer you finally found, Edgeworth. The bare facts. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. I don't know about that. It was wet. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. I see, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. I'm thinking about Lotta's camera. Somebody must have used it for something. What the hell did they record with it? And why? Let's just press everything. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective. Oh, that was pretty simple. That's pretty simple too, but I'll press it anyway. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Madame God's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Oh, so she's a pretty lady. Oh, I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. You guys, since I'm wearing all these robes and my desk is so big, you can't even see that I jerk off in half the cases we've done. When the post-ceremony... what the fuck voice am I doing here? When the post-ceremony show was about to get started, she went to get Mr. Rongard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body. Yup. It's generally what a knife to the chest is. The cause of death wasn't that because Mr. Corrida was stabbed in the chest. Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Oh, shit. Well, that's what I fucking said, because it's in his damn right shoulder. What was it? Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Maybe he was allergic to tomato juice. Now, real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. Where? Judge? I swear. Oh, his bandana, sir. It's the thing wrapped tightly around his... Okay, it's what I thought, looking at the back of his neck, but I wasn't sure. Oh my god. Then, what about the knife? Yeah, you can barely see it. But, I guess it's there. Seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose. So they fucking wrapped it around his neck and strangled him? Could Adrian do that? Is she strong enough to fight him off like that? Maybe she stabbed him first to weaken him. I don't know. She kept going on about how she's small, which, I mean, I haven't really seen proof of. She looks, from the, just portrait shot we got of her, not a portrait, whatever, just from the shot we have of her, she just looks the same as everybody else. We couldn't really tell her height. We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. I could just tell that she was pretty well endowed in certain departments that weren't necessarily small. You know what I'm saying? And why did you think about that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jamie Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? Judge, there's really no need for your theories. A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? Alright, Judge, leave it to me. Let me handle these things, okay? We thought of that too, but... But? The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory, then. Alright, is this the last one? Yep. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. Why? So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Maybe he knew something was going to happen and he didn't want them to get the guitar for some reason? Yes, sir, even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. After he was dead, he stabbed him. Okay. Why? Can't really pretend. I mean, they can tell how he died. You're not fooling anybody by doing that. So why did they do it? Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Okay. Matt Angad and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It would be evidence if it was the other way around, but Matt was winning. It was ripped off of the ninja costume. It was found in Mr. Angard's Hakama. There is that, though. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. That too. Was it gold? That's fancy. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I love how he's just back into it so easily. Just like always. Like nothing changed, nothing happened. And I'm sure Phoenix actually really appreciates it and really likes it, and he's glad to not have a whip in the courtroom. Or a demon Von Karma man. None of the Von Karmas. He's just happy to have Edgeworth back. I'm sure, as much as he might say that he hates him, this trial will re-extinguish his passion for his friend/rival. So let's press. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Angard won, did he not? Yeah. But you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. Angard in everything. That is not ironic. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. I don't think any of that was ironic. But okay. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ongard was beating Mr. Corda in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. They don't generally care about motive here, Phoenix. We've learned that by now. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective? It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Dude! You guys are too close for that. How dare you? You and your gumshoe. You can't say that to him. I look forward to your pension negotiations. Dude! No! No, Detective. Let's continue with the testimony. Poor gumshoe. Oh. Not my poor pension, too. You know, I said before that there should be a spin-off with Will Powers and Pearl. It would also work with Gumshoe and Pearl. In fact, that would probably be better just because he's actually a detective. So that's what I want the spin-off to be. And it should just be called Gumshoe and Pearl. And it would be great, and they'd go around solving mysteries together, and it'd be great. Can you not envision it? Gumshoe and Pearl, Fridays at 8. Do it. I'll do it if I have to. Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Well, it wasn't on it anymore. That's why. But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Well, I mean, yeah, anyone, including Matt. You're kind of ignoring the part that it was in his pants. Thread. Of course. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. You did it, Gumshoe. You got him. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Ongard's Hakama. Okay. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corda. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? It's none of that shit. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Oh, what do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. You guys are good at your jobs. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? Oh, okay. I don't know if I can present anything at all yet. I've just been pressing for these first two testimonies, and that's been all it is. Sorry, pal, this isn't just some pocket knife. It's not really useful for anything, and you can't just walk around with it either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully. So, Phoenix, you got through Turnabout Big Top without Mia's help, but it turns out, when it's the really hard-hitting stuff, apparently you still need her. Mia will always be useful. Which I guess it's good for her. She'll always have a chance to come back in. But, you know, at some point, Phoenix has got to do it by himself. But nah. We gotta have room for her, or Pearl, or Maya, or whoever to help me. Or Larry Butts. Has he been in this game at all? I don't think so. Huh. Anyway. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix?